Hello everyone. Before I start, I just want to say if I get a little tongue twisted, I'm sorry. I'm not used to this video recording stuff, but we'll give it a go. So the graphic novel I chose is CatStronauts Mission Moon by Drew Brockington, who's the author and illustrator of this book. It's a front cover. Here's the spine of the book, and here's the back. I also apologize for the glare. So a brief summary of this fictional graphic novel is that the world is cast into darkness by frequent power outages caused by global energy crisis. So the President of the United States of America calls on the world's best scientists to find out a solution to this problem, and his solution is to put a solar power plant on the moon. And to do this, he entrusts this mission to the CatStronauts, who consists of the fearless commander Major Meowster, their genius technician inventor Blanket, their quick thinking officer Pom Pom, and their hungry pilot named Waffles. So they go through a sped up training and encounter many problems, but through their resourcefulness and teamwork they're able to overcome these problems and complete the mission and save the world. So that's the brief summary of this book. Here's the front cover of the book. So it's very unique. Looking at the print, it's very unique and it will catch the reader's attention immediately. It is an appropriate, in the actual thing it has an appropriate font and font size, so that makes it readable to the reader. Here's an example. The print's also placed in like appropriate places to where it doesn't take away from the illustrations, as you can see. And it's mostly dialogue between characters. And it's also not too wordy, and it just strictly says what needs to be said, which is good for a graphic novel. The illustration, look at the illustration, you can see it's written drawn like in a cartoon-ish form with using both pastels and primary colors. That same example. And it uses brighter colors to convey like a cheerful or humorous tone. As you can see, this is when they're lifting off, which is a cheerful tone, and it's pretty colorful and bright. So, and the darker tones, if I can get you an example, convey an almost anxious or worried tone. So here is their mission. Here's an example in which they failed in their practice run for their mission. And as you can see, it is kind of a darker shade. And the illustrations can show the characters' emotions through their facial expressions. Right here, as you can see, it's mostly through their eyebrows, their eyes, and their mouths. You can see how they're feeling. And their personality is also shown through their actions. Between the two, the print and the illustration, they both occur synchronously, so they occur at the same time. So they both tell the story at the same time. One's not more ahead than the other. But I think in this book the illustrations are a little more important because it gives you the details that you wouldn't get just from reading the words or the print. So, but overall, both of these are the print and illustrations are very useful to the overall meaning of the book. So, looking at the rationale of this and how it can be used in the classroom, I think it can be used in the content area of the science and social studies for the upper elementary grades. This because it talks about solar, for science it talks about solar energy and electricity and how it gets electricity, so you can incorporate that in a lesson through multiple activities and experiments. This can be done through lessons on how solar energy is used and how it creates electricity. And it's relevant to students because it's something they use every day. They use electricity every day for charging their phones and iPads or whatever they have. So it can be used for that. And it can also be expanded to teach students on the conservation of energy and how you can conserve energy and electricity. It also talks about the landing on the moon, which is can be used for social studies. You can have students learn about the first moon landing and why we sent someone to the moon and how we did it. So this would go into details like the space race and that historical event of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. it also can be taught to how it helped the growth of technology in the U.S. And I'm pretty sure children would be intrigued also to learn that someone actually landed on the moon, not just the CatStronauts, but real people like you and me. So that is my book talk over the CatStronauts Mission Moon by Drew Brockington. So thank you.